We want to share some highlights from our spring 2024 trip to France, ideas and places that we hope inspire you. Our top moments kick off with Nice and appreciating the beach and seaside there. While the sun wasn't always showing this spring, the scenery was still stunningly gorgeous, as seen here at the Le Plongeoir restaurant next to the Club Nautique de Nice. Dating back to 1862, this restaurant started out as a humble fish stand called Le Reserve, but over the years has continued to evolve even as it stayed a place for patrons to enjoy their meals above the waves. Combining more incredible views with history is the famous Cours Saleya. Located just steps from the beach, Cours Saleya hosts different markets throughout the week. While the area hosted since the 1700s the Loup, a small market square where farmers and fishermen sold their wares, it wasn't formally known as the Cours Saleya Flower Market until 1897, when it became the world's first wholesale flower market. Currently, the Cours Saleya is ranked among the 100 most beautiful markets in France. Here, you can see footage from the Marché aux Fleurs, or flower market, held Tuesday through Sunday. You'll see a dizzying variety of fruits, vegetables, flowers, local specialties, and souvenirs displayed. We were lucky enough to visit on a Monday as well, the day for the Marché à la Brocante, the antique flea market. Incredible finds from furniture to artwork, housewares to jewelry, and more were on display. The only way to manage the temptation is to remind yourself that you have to pack everything you buy in your suitcase. However, you don't have to limit yourself to eating just the delicacies of the Cours Saleya. You can find gourmet treats like the wood-fired chickpea pancake known as soca at various stands throughout southern France. Here you can see soca being prepared in the traditional manner at a stand in Cannes, sprinkled with salt and pepper and served piping hot out of the oven. Just chickpea flour, water, and olive oil combined to make an incredible dish that you'll dream of recreating at home. Beyond the beachfront cities of Nice and Cannes, it's worth taking some time off the beaten path to visit the small village of Èze, in particular the famous Jardin Exotique. 429 meters above the Mediterranean Sea, on the site of a medieval fortress destroyed in the 1700s, Èze's Jardin Exotique has a world-famous array of plants and succulents, flanking walking paths with original art and incredible views. Definitely get there early as it's a popular stop for tourists. Not too far from Èze is the city of Menton, famed for its annual citrus festival. Because you are close to the border of France and Italy, as you walk through the streets of the city, you'll hear French and Italian spoken in equal measure, and the Saint-Michel Basilica creates a focal point in the square with its incredible views of the harbor. Opened for worship in 1653, with its large bell tower built in 1701 to 1702, the Baroque-style church has 3 naves, with tall stone columns, round arches, and painted ceilings combining to create an impressive place for reflection and prayer. Situated between Menton and Èze is the Principality of Monaco, a microstate which features the very impressive Oceanographic Museum, opened in 1910. With several thousand species of fish, invertebrates, reptiles, and more, the Oceanographic Museum has something for everyone who enjoys marine life. After leaving the French Riviera, we enjoyed the opportunity to visit the historic walled city of Avignon at the heart of the Provençal region. From 1309 to 1377, the city of Avignon was the seat of the Catholic popes. To the left of the famous Palais des Papes, you can see the Avignon Cathedral, Notre-Dame des Dons. The gold statue of the Virgin Mary that you see is 6 meters in height and weighs 4,500 pounds. Throughout Notre-Dame des Dons, you will see on display beautiful works of art, reliquaries, and vestments belonging to the Diocese of Avignon. The Basilica of Notre-Dame des Dons and the Palais overlook the Rhône Valley with incredible views. The Palais des Papes' compelling history as one of the most strategically important buildings in all of Europe becomes evident as you tour the impressive structure. A UNESCO World Heritage Site with more than 650,000 visitors per year, the palace was built in less than 20 years, starting in the year 1335. Primarily built by 2 popes, Benedict XII, who built the Old Palace, and his successor Clement VI, who built the New Palace, the Palais des Papes displays layers of history throughout the 25 rooms open to the public, as well as the papal gardens. In addition to the Papal Palace and beautiful basilica, Avignon itself is a charming and walkable city. While you're in Avignon, a de rigueur experience is to walk across the actual Pont d'Avignon, made a household term by the famous children's song, which it turns out was from a comic opera performed in Paris in the 19th century. Another historic site you can't miss in the south of France, the Pont du Gard. Built around 50 BC during the reigns of Roman emperors Claudius and Nero, the Pont du Gard has stood proud for the past 2,000 years. You can learn about the history of the Pont du Gard in its accompanying museum, showing the life and times of the Roman Empire, the importance of aqueducts, and the intense time, engineering, and ingenuity that went into building these awe-inspiring structures. Continuing our journey up the Rhone River, we go through Limoges, historically known for its porcelain and enamel construction. The Cathedral of Saint-Étienne in Limoges took 6 centuries to build and is a masterpiece of Romanesque architecture with incredibly lovely windows and art. We then took a detour to a special destination, Les Loup. This champignonnière, or mushroom farm, is built in the old troglodyte dwellings in the hamlet of Marmonnière. The stone from these caves was used to build structures all over France and England, and when stone extraction ceased around 1900, the ideal conditions of these caves were perfect for the cultivation of mushrooms, with a nice humidity level and steady temperatures. You can tour Les Loup mushroom caves for yourself to learn all about mushroom cultivation's past history and present state. You'll also see unusual art installations in the caves, as well as where they grow pink oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and more. If you're considering multi-day touring in the Loire Valley and are looking for a great place to stay, Le Clos Du Roc is a beautifully restored B&B in the heart of Montlouis-sur-Loire, just outside of Tours. This charming B&B's tranquility will relax and refresh you. Maya the dog will be happy to see you, and their amazing breakfast with homemade jam and yogurt is a delight. This brings us to the end of our trip in the Loire Valley, and specifically the famous chateaux that fill this area of France. With more than 300 chateaux in the Loire Valley, there are countless architectural and historical gems to choose from. We started our chateau day with timed tickets to the iconic Chenonceau, also known as the Ladies' Castle, which crosses the Cher River. Beyond the incredible design of Chenonceau itself, the grounds surrounding Chenonceau include the splendid gardens designed by Catherine de Medici, contrasted with the different views, colors of plants and designs from the Diane de Poitiers garden, continuing their iconic rivalry across the centuries. Don't cut your journey short after you've finished exploring the castle and the adjoining gardens. There's so much more to see, particularly the labyrinth. According to the New York Times, more than 2,000 yew trees make up this winding path. Walking the labyrinth at Chenonceau was a truly unique experience. We then made the half-hour drive to Amboise, once the home of the French royal court. The Château d'Amboise lies at the heart of this town, where Leonardo da Vinci spent the final years of his life. The grounds feature beautiful gardens, like this display of clipped box-ball topiaries, that fascinate visitors, and onwards to our final chateau of the day. The largest chateau in the Loire Valley, the iconic Chambord, was constructed by François Ier from 1519 to 1547. Receiving 700,000 visitors every year, this majestic structure was originally built as a hunting lodge. But does the average hunting lodge or cabin have 440 rooms, 282 fireplaces, and 84 staircases? Speaking of staircases, they are a defining feature of Chambord. The chateau is surrounded by a 13,000-acre wooded park and game reserve featuring red deer. These breathtaking gardens were restored as recently as 2017 to the specifications found in a drawing completed in 1734. With 11 kinds of towers and 365 chimneys, one for every day of the year, just the roof of Chambord is a work of art. What a spectacular ending to a magical day of chateaux, combining Chenonceau, Amboise, and Chambord into one memorable experience. Thank you for joining us on our 2024 spring voyage. We hope this inspires you to consider visiting